Hey Scandal fans! So the other day, right, I was sitting around thinking, what am I gonna do during the Scandal hiatus? You know, we still got a couple of weeks before we've got a new episode. What am I gonna fill my time with? And in thinking about that too, it started making me think about summer, which I'm afraid of greatly. I don't know what I'm gonna do over the summer when we have no Scandal episodes. I'm gonna be like doing like Scandal puppet theater or something. It's gonna be bad. So basically, I decided to come up with a Scandal tag. So what a tag is I've come up with 10 questions about Scandal. In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my answers. And then the fun part is that after you've watched this video, you grab your video camera and answer the 10 questions yourself, and then post your response as a video response to this video. You'll see the 10 questions pop up on the screen, but then also I'm gonna post them down in the description box below. I'm so excited, you guys, to kind of share my answers with you, but then also to kind of hear your answers. So here we go. So I heard about this show just like from advertising, like on ABC, like via commercials. Like I was watching something else on ABC and they started talking about this new show, Scandal, that was coming on. You know, I knew who Kerry Washington was, but I mean, she wasn't really like my initial draw to the show. It was really kind of the idea that there was kind of like this political like thriller slash scandal type of show that appealed to me because I am a bit of a political junkie. Yeah, I love the news, I love politics, so that's really kind of the side of the show that appealed to me. And then, once I watched that first episode, I was completely hooked, you guys. Like, I mean, I know I've said it before, but like, the episode was really good, and then we got to that Oval Office scene, right? And I'm telling you guys, like, Fitz backed her up into that corner, and I was seriously just like, oh my god, this is my new favorite show in the world! This is a really hard question to answer. Like, initially, I just want to say Olivia Pope, you know, like, because she is awesome. But so many of the characters on this show have such depth to them. You know, I think pretty much all of them do, which is something that I really love because, I don't know, there's a lot of other shows that I watch where there's characters that just seem kind of trite and like stereotypical, and that never happens on Scandal. You know, it's like you've got all these people that are flawed dealing with each other, and it just, you know, makes for magic. So I guess I'll say Olivia's my favorite. I really enjoy Fitz and kind of his complexities, and Cyrus as well, and kind of answering that question of good and bad, and what is good and bad, and white and black and gray, the gray area. So yeah, Mellie's really interesting too because, boy, she's just evil most of the time, and it just makes you want to know how she ticks. So, and I like Huck too. See, I can't pick just one. It's funny because if the last question was hard, this one is really easy. Man, Edison was just the worst. I know right now there's lots of like Jake hate happening right now because we're in, you know, season 2 of Scandal and everybody hates Jake. But Edison drove me insane. You know, like I could at least see, you know, Jake and Olivia. Like, if I knew that he wasn't crazy and, you know, Olivia was kind of, like, trying to move on, I could at least see the two of them together. Edison, I just didn't get. Like, I felt like there was no chemistry. And his whole, like, you know, I'm gonna be sitting on your couch when you get home, uninvited thing kind of drove me batty. So, Edison, I'm afraid, is gotta be my least favorite character for sure. No question. Okay, this is a really, really tough question. I feel like my favorite episodes tend to be the flashback episodes. You know, it's like, I love the way that Scandal tells its stories, like, almost like backwards to some degree. So it's like, you see the end result of something, but you don't know how we got there. And then all of a sudden they'll show us an episode that explains, this is how that happened. This is how that occurred. So, I mean, I think probably so many people will say The Trail. I love that episode too, just because you got to see kind of the beginning of the Olitz relationship. And there were so many fantastic Olitz moments in that episode. I mean, like, the two of them in the elevator, the two of them on the bus was just magical. Let's be inappropriate, says Fitz, and I was just, like, swooning. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say The Trail. some of my favorite cases have been happening this season. I really enjoyed the episode where they had to find the politician a wife when they had to do that whole political wife search. That was really interesting. And I think I probably tend to really like the cases that really parallel Olivia's life. And obviously that one did. I also really enjoyed the case with Sarah Stanner, I think her name was, the woman who had the affair with the judge that was, you know, getting nominated for the Supreme Court. I loved that case, and I really loved her interaction with Olivia. That scene with the two of them at the table with the good wine was really fantastic. So I probably really enjoy the cases, again, that parallel Olivia's life, because I feel like that really kind of moves her forward a lot, and I really like that. Okay, so now the reason this question is choose your top 3 favorite moments was because I couldn't pick just one, because there are so many fantastic Olitz moments. Okay, so my top 3, in no particular order, 2 of them come from the episode this season, Happy Birthday, Mr. President. One was the scene in the Rose Garden, you know, where Fitz tells her, like, you own me, you control me, that scene. I just thought the writing in that scene was done so well. I mean, the acting too, obviously, but the words were just so well written. I mean, like, it just totally moved me, and I loved that. And remember, this scene was a flashback, so I think this is the moment when Fitz is really telling Olivia, this is not just about sex. This is not just about that between us. I am in love with you. And so I really love that moment. Another scene from that episode that I really love as well is when they're at the Constitution, and Olivia finally kind of steps up to the plate and admits that she's in love with him too. Because obviously we know for Olivia, you know, that declaration for her would take a lot. So I loved seeing her kind of do that in a almost like meek kind of way, like, I'm coming out here, please don't hurt me type of thing. I also love that scene too, because it's like, here's this thing, like, let's touch the Constitution. That's pretty darn cool. But I love the fact that it was like they wanted to share that with each other because they love each other. So I loved that. And my last moment I'm going to choose is from the trail. The 1 minute moments were just fantastic in that episode. I would say the very first one where the two of them are standing there out in the hallway. Was just, yeah, like awesome. I remember watching that and just being like completely blown away. So those are my 3, and there's probably like 10 more, but we're limiting ourselves to 3, so there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say that I'm a 10 for sure. I am completely obsessed. I'm right on the edge of getting my scandal tattoo for sure. It's funny too because nobody else in my life, like none of my friends around me or my family watch the show. So it's like, I always want to be like, oh my god, did you see Scandal this week? And they haven't. So that's why I really started Scandal Chat as well, because I wanted to talk to other people who were as excited as I was. So there you go, I am officially obsessed. Okay, so I made up this question, right? Because I know how many people are hating on Jake in this moment. So my thought was, if you had to choose between Edison or Jake, who would you choose? And I'm gonna have to say I would choose Jake, because I already told you a couple questions ago that Edison is like my least favorite character on Scandal ever. So, no, go away, Edison. So even if Jake is a crazy person, I would still choose him. So there are a ton of reasons why I love this show, you guys. I love that it's so fast-paced. Like, I love the pacing of this show. It's like, it doesn't, you know, mind, like, dropping the bomb on you in the middle of the season. I feel like a lot of shows have kind of gotten into that pattern where it's like, we do our storytelling, and then during sweeps, you know, there might be a shocker, and then after that, we're gonna go back to the kind of mundane filler episodes, and Scandal does not do that at all. So it's like, you have to watch every week because, I mean, we could have, like, something earth-shattering happen. I can't imagine what the season finale is gonna be like for season 2, based on the fact that we had the freaking President of the United States kill somebody, you know, already, in an episode that was just kind of like in the middle of the season. And that's just what Scandal is, and why I love it, because it's so just kind of crazy, and you never can figure out what's gonna happen. I love all the twists and the turns, and yeah, I just love it. One show that I really love on Thursday nights as well is The Vampire Diaries. Love it, love it, love it. I love Community on Thursday nights. It's a comedy on NBC and just one of my favorite shows that's on TV right now. I just think it's hilarious. And my number 3 is gonna be Game of Thrones on HBO. Really love that show. I was just telling somebody the other day, I feel like Game of Thrones is like the medieval Scandal. So if you're looking for Scandal like back in the day, Game of Thrones is the show for you. because Cersei is totally like the medieval version of Melly Grant. I would love to see a showdown between the two of them. A really fantastic show, again, with fantastic pacing, lots of great characters with depth, and yeah, really, really good. If you haven't watched that, you need to get some HBO and watch that. So that's it, you guys. Those are my 10 questions. That is my scandal tag. And now what you need to do is go and grab your camera and film yourself answering these questions, and then go ahead and upload your video and attach it to this video as a video response.